What's up, guys? GameNut here, and welcome back to my NFL regular season predictions. Week number 11 of the season is now upon us, but let's of course go ahead and take a look at last week, see how well we ended up scoring. And as you guys can see, once again we had ourselves a pretty solid outing, man. 10 games guessed correctly, once again going 10-4. I believe that is now 2 weeks in a row going with that record, and I think in the past 3 weeks we've gotten at least 10 games guessed correctly. We had 11 games that first week, but I don't know, man. We've been on a streak recently. I don't know what to say, man. We've been doing good. We've been killing it. Like I said, 10 plus games guessed correctly 3 weeks in a row. I just hope that we can continue that here through the back half of the season, man. Only a few weeks left to go, but hey, man, I'm excited about how we're predicting these games. On the other hand side, for Madden 21, you guys know they've been doing pretty horrible so far up to this point of the year, but they did, somewhat decent last week. Finally, at least salvaging a little bit of last week, going 8-6, but definitely not anywhere near as well as we've been doing. So, moving on into our schedule for Week 11 now, and of course, first things first, teams on a bye. We've got ourselves the San Francisco 49ers, New York Giants, Chicago Bears, and Buffalo Bills. All of those guys will be resting this week. And of course, we had ourselves Thursday night football, which you guys know is a battle of the NFC West. Who was going to be coming out on top, getting first place in the division, at least temporarily being in first place. You guys know Seattle Seahawks, they did come out on top, and thankfully, I sided with Seattle. I did pick the Seahawks to come out on top. Obviously, you guys know I've been picking the Cardinals the past few weeks. They've been doing pretty solid. Last week, I said it was going to be a great game against the Bills, man, and wow, was I right? Did it turn out to be a good game? I mean, insanity, man. What a way for that game to end. The Stephon Diggs touchdown with, 40 seconds left into the game, and then obviously they somehow were able to get the Hail Mary to DeAndre Hopkins. That was just crazy this last week, man. So it was pretty cool, the storyline, to see all the teams went 6-3. Like I said, it just kind of wrote itself. It seemed like that was just, likely that it was going to happen. But end of the season, I see Seattle being in first place of the NFC West, and obviously with this game going on right now, it would have been hard for Seattle, I feel like, to win or at least get first place, dropping this game, losing both the Cardinals on the season. So I felt like it was pretty obvious that the Seahawks, they were going to get game number 2 against these guys. And also on top of it, the home primetime game, it was their first game under the new stadium name. They renamed it Lumen Stadium or whatever it is. So just kind of all the pieces fell apart. I just felt like the Seahawks weren't going to be losing this game, so that's why I decided to pick them. So our first game on the Sunday schedule, we've got ourselves the 2-6-1 Cincinnati Bengals going to take on the 2-7 football team. A battle of the garbage cans, man. Obviously, this game doesn't really matter. I guess technically for the football team, they want to win it. I guess they can still win their division, right? Which is crazy to think about, man. I just can't believe that they're 2-7 and they can still win their division. It's insane. I really feel like, I know I say this a lot, but I really feel like whatever team I pick, the other one's going to end up winning because it's 2 garbage cans. Like I said, you don't know who's going to come out on top, but I guess I'm going to have to roll with the football team just because of the fact that they still have something that they're fighting for on their season, obviously, because of the fact they can still win the division. It's a home game for them. Their defense is obviously still the best part of that team. Maybe the rookie Joe Burrow being without Joe Mixon, that could hurt the offense. Obviously, we know the Bengals just aren't good in general anyway, so I feel like, home team for the football team, we're going to have to roll with them. Division battle now in the NFC South with the 3-6 Atlanta Falcons going to take on the 7-2 New Orleans Saints. Now without Drew Brees at quarterback. What an injury that man got last week. I mean, when you heard the news later on in the week, it was 5 fractured or broken ribs, a punctured lung. I mean, geez, whiz, take it easy on my man Drew Brees. He's too old to be doing this nowadays, man. I mean, come on, you're going to break the guy. Crazy injury for Drew, man. He's going to be out a couple of weeks, so that sucks to see, but honestly, I gotta stick with the Saints, man. I still think they're a really good team. Their defense seems to be playing a lot better than they have in the past, so I think they're great this year. I don't think that the offense is going to really miss a beat without Drew Brees, though. Like, I think, whoever they sub in, Jameis Winston, he's obviously got his issues. He loves throwing it to the other team a lot when he likes to play. So I think they obviously are going with Taysom Hill. We'll have to see how that pans out because you guys know Taysom Hill, he's just an offensive player. He obviously can play quarterback, he can throw the football and all that nonsense, but he's literally just an offensive player. He goes in at every single position. So I don't know. I think that, the Saints probably planned for something like this in case Drew does go out and get hurt. But I just, like I said, I think the Saints will be fine, especially against the Falcons, who haven't been fantastic this year. I think the Saints will be, just okay without Drew Brees. Next up, we have the now 9-0, still undefeated Pittsburgh Steelers going to take on the now 1-8 Jacksonville Jaguars at home. Obviously, we're rolling with Pittsburgh to win this game. That's pretty clear. I feel like this is now, what, 3 weeks in a row where Pittsburgh has set a pretty easy schedule, man, where it's been pretty easy games where it's like, yeah, they're winning the game. There's no questioning it. I don't know, man. I hope at some point the Steelers lose a couple games. I know next week they got Thanksgiving coming up. My Ravens, we're getting redemption, man. We're giving them their first loss of the season on Thanksgiving, man. You watch it, but obviously against a team like the Jaguars here for this week, I think Steelers, they're probably going to go 10-0. Next up, the now 4-5 New England Patriots after getting that win last week against my Ravens. We'll talk about that in a minute. They are now going to take on the 2-7 Houston Texans. For this game, man, I think I got to stay with the Patriots. Getting that win last week, I'm going to go with the team that's hot right now because I feel like the Patriots are a team this year where it's just, you got to wait to see if they show up. I feel like they are very capable of getting wins every single week. It's just a matter of whether they're going to play well and actually be able to beat the team that's in front of them. I don't know. It's just kind of weird. Like I said, the Patriots, I still think that they're decent. Cam Newton, he's going to obviously slowly get better, you know, being in this offense and learning it and getting more comfortable with it. And I don't know. The Texans, I feel like their team, obviously, is in shambles at this point. Their season is in the books. And they just got tons of problems. And, you know, like I said, the Patriots, they're not out of it just yet. And I feel like they still got that fight left in them where they can beat a team like the Houston Texans where they are just down in the dumps this season. The now 3-5-1 Philadelphia Eagles are going to take on the Cleveland Browns, who sit at 6-3. I knew I should have picked Cleveland last week, man. The only reason I picked against them is literally because I just wanted them to lose, okay? I didn't want to see them at 6-3. And I really don't want to see them at 7-3, man. I can't envision that. It just seems so odd to me to see this record that they've even got right now, man. It's crazy. As bad as Cleveland has just been historically over the past couple decades, whatever it's been, man, I don't know. It's just nuts to see. I'm going with the Eagles, man. Okay, they're number one in their division somehow because obviously NFC least. And I think that the Eagles at the end of the season are going to take first place. And I think, you know, this is one of those games that they're going to take, man. I think they're going to take down the Cleveland Browns because Cleveland's still just, I don't think that amazing of a football team. I believe Myles Garrett actually, I feel like I just remember seeing this now on NFL Network. Is he like on the COVID list or something? So he's actually going to be out of this game, not playing against the Eagles. So that is huge for them. That's a big bonus for the Philadelphia Eagles. But I don't know, man. I'm going with the Eagles. I'm banking on these guys taking down the Browns for me because I really don't want to see them go 7-3. Next up, the now 4-5 Detroit Lions. They are starting to turn things around here a little bit, man. Their season is not done and over just yet. They are now going to take on the Carolina Panthers this week, who sit at 3-7. Now, this is an interesting scenario for this game, so hear me out. So, for the Carolina Panthers, obviously, you guys know McCaffrey is still injured. Teddy Bridgewater is now doubtful for this game because of the knee injury he got last week. As for the Lions side, we've got Kenny Galladay and Danny Amendola, I believe, out because of injuries. I don't think they're on the COVID list or nothing like that. I think it's just injuries. And they've also got DeAndre Swift, their running back, who has had, you know, a couple of nice weeks these past few games. I believe he's going to be out with a concussion. So it's like, that's a lot of main offensive players on both sides of the ball that are going to be out for this game, man. So this could be an interesting game, go either way, but I think I'm going to have to roll with the Lions, man, because they, like I said, they seem like their fight is still there. Their season isn't over just yet. They're starting to win a couple of good games. And I don't know. I think Matthew Stafford is going to put the team on his back. He's going to be able to get it done. Maybe Adrian Peterson's going to come in there and take over with, you know, DeAndre Swift being out. And also, you know, the Panthers, their defense has been pretty bad this year. And with Teddy B being out and obviously McCaffrey, I don't know, man. So I feel like the pieces are there for the Lions to get this win. Next game up, it is the rematch, fellas, from last year, the AFC divisional game. The Tennessee Titans coming to take on my Baltimore Ravens. We're both sitting at 6-3 at this point of the season. And I am definitely not as excited about this game as I was leading up into it, fellas. Obviously, you know, this being a revenge game, I had it circled on the calendar. It's always a game you're looking forward to, something like this. But like I said, going into it, I'm not as excited about it now just because of the state of my Baltimore Ravens right now, man. Obviously, we're still picking my Ravens to win this game because, you know, they're my home team. You can't pick against your home team, man. It's just not right. So I still have faith in my team that we can win this game because I still don't think the Titans are that amazing of a football team. It's just the fact that my Ravens are just... We're in shambles right now, man. We got so many problems. The offense is just so much worse than what we were last year, and the biggest issue is our offensive line. Obviously, we've got the injuries. the people that have to sub in because of injuries are just so bad. Our center this year, he is so terrible. I don't know if you guys watched the primetime game last week, but the snaps, he can't snap a football for his life. I don't know how he is being paid to snap footballs to Lamar Jackson. I literally could do a better job than him, and I weigh half the man's weight, and I probably couldn't block anybody, but I could do a better job. It's just the offensive line is just, that's the biggest reason why our O is so bad, I feel like. Obviously, we could use some help with the receivers and whatnot, but on the other hand side, the defense, we got plenty of injuries to deal with, and obviously the two key ones for this game are Calais Campbell, Brandon Williams. Those are our two big fellas that we have up front that we needed for Derrick Henry, and now they're both going to be injured, so that's just, absolutely fantastic. We lost Nick Boyle last week, which, he's not a big target, but he's a huge blocking piece of our offense, and, him being injured now last week, it's just, our team is just a disaster right now, man. I don't know what to think. If we're going to lose this game, I'm not going to be surprised because of the way that our team is right now, man. But like I said, I still have the faith. I still believe in my team. I think we still can get it done against the Titans. I hope that there's some way possible to do it, but honestly, I feel like in the future, I think that the Titans and Ravens, we're going to rematch once again this year in the playoffs, and hopefully both those guys will be back. Calais Campbell, Brandon Williams. I feel like the way that, the NFL is going to rate itself is the Ravens will lose this game, but we'll have that rematch in the playoffs once again this season, and, maybe we'll get the win that time around. But I don't know, man. Just a very crazy time for my Ravens. I hope we can somehow pull out this win. Oh, man, look at this game. The New York Jets now sitting at 0-9 on their season, going to take on the now 2-7 LA Chargers at home. Obviously, we're going to be picking the Chargers to win this game. The poor Jets, man, I don't know what to say about them. They got close to getting a win. I believe, what was it, a week or two ago, it was that primetime game against the Patriots, and I feel like they got close to another game here recently. But the Jets, they can't seem to get a win. I would be pretty surprised if they were able to do so against the Chargers here, but honestly, it would make sense because the Chargers are one of those teams that they just can't seem to finish games and end with more points than the enemy. But I don't know, any crazier things have happened. I feel like the Jets could win, but I'm being smart here, and I'm going to be picking the Chargers. Wow, man, the Miami Dolphins, where did these guys come from? Now sitting at 6-3 on the season. They are contenders in the AFC. They're going to be in there in the playoff race, man. Crazy to see. Like I said, they came out of nowhere. They are going to now take on the 3-6 Denver Broncos. I think for this game, man, we're rolling with the Dolphins. We're staying with the hot team, 3-0 now for Tua at quarterback. The Broncos, obviously, they got their problems. They've got their injuries. They've got their issues. The Dolphins, like I said, they're the hot team right now. Their defense is playing really well. The young man at quarterback, Tua, is playing great. I feel like it's kind of stupid to pick the Broncos here and go against the hot team. So, obviously, we're picking Miami. Next matchup on the schedule, got ourselves the now 2-7 Dallas Cowboys going to take on the 4-5 Minnesota Vikings. Again, another team turning things around at this point of the season. The NFC North, crazy stuff happening there, man. Both the Lions and the Vikings were pretty bad at the start of the year, and look at them now. Both of them at 4-5. If they keep winning these games, they'll be in contention there for the playoffs. And then the Chicago Bears, obviously the other team, that they were up there in second place, but you guys know what's happening with the Chicago Bears. Anyways, for this game, I think we're going to be rolling with the Vikings. It's the home team, the Dallas Cowboys. They've got, they got their injuries. They've got their issues. Their season, it's kind of hard for them to come back at this point. And like I said, the Vikings have been obviously pretty hot. Dalvin Cook, he very well could go for like another 200-something yards against the defense that is the Dallas Cowboys this season, man. But I think we're going to have to roll with the Vikings. Man, this seems like this is definitely going to be a good matchup. Looking forward to this game for sure. We've got ourselves the now 7-2 Green Bay Packers going to take on the 6-3 Indianapolis Colts. Aaron Rodgers taking on Phillip Rivers. It's going to be pretty interesting to see how that Packers offense handles the Colts defense, because you guys know, obviously, both of those sides of the ball have been great for them this year. And I don't know, man, like I said, it's going to be probably the best game of the 4 o'clock hour. I'm really excited about this one. I think I'm going to have to roll with Aaron Rodgers, though, man. I can't pick against my man, Aaron Rodgers. He's just so good this season. The Packers look amazing. Their defense has been playing pretty well. And I feel like that's going to be the deciding factor of this game. It's going to be the offense for the Colts and the defense for the Packers. And I don't know, man. I just feel like the Packers are going to edge them out because they're so darn good this season, man. So I think I'm going to have to roll with Green Bay for this one. And now for Sunday Night Football, we've got round 2 between these two teams. You guys know, second time these guys are playing each other. The Chiefs, the only loss they've got this season is to the Raiders. So will this be the second loss? Can they give them both losses this season, man? That would be crazy to see for the Las Vegas Raiders. I think it's definitely possible. I could see the Raiders coming out on top. But man, I can't pick against the Chiefs, man. Okay, I can't see them dropping both games to their division rival, the Raiders, man. Okay, I see them splitting the games. Like I said, I definitely see the Raiders giving them a tough time. It's probably going to come down to a one-score game at the very end of the fourth quarter. It's going to be a close game, but I just feel like I see the Chiefs squeaking it out and coming out on top, man. I can't see them dropping both games to the Raiders this year. And finally, last but not least, we now have Monday Night Football. The Los Angeles Rams now sitting at 6-3, going to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, sitting at 7-3 on their season. Tom Brady, man, he's looking good with the Buccaneers. Like I said, as the season progressed, they were just going to continue to get better, man. And like I said, we're kind of just seeing it happen right before our eyes. And I'm going to be rolling with Tampa Bay, man. Okay, I can't pick against the team. Their defense has been playing really well. Their offense, obviously, it's a very high-powered offense, man. They gave a ton of weapons for Tom Brady on this Buccaneers team, man. That is for sure. And the Rams, I mean, they're a solid team this season, but you know, they're up and down. They're one of those up and down teams this year. And against a team like the Buccaneers, the way that they would match up, I just feel like the Rams aren't going to play as well against the Bucs, especially primetime home game for Tampa Bay. I've got to roll with Tom Brady for this one. But there you guys have it. There are my predictions for week 11 of the season. I hope you guys enjoyed, man. I know this one was a little bit longer. I feel like there was a lot to discuss this week for football, man. Last week, week 10, I feel like it was a very interesting week in football. A lot of stuff happened, a lot of things, you know, I feel like we needed to discuss that went on. But anyways, like I said, man, I hope you guys enjoyed. It's going to be an interesting week of football. The playoff picture is going to start unfolding very, very soon, man. We're getting close to the end of the season. It's kind of sad to think about, though, man, because we don't have that much football left. But anyways, like I said, man, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, be sure to put a thumbs up on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, and I will catch you all in the next one. Take it easy, guys. Peace out.